want to do a quick audio check myself, just make sure that I'm coming through well. Same thing in the question and answer section. Please just give me a hello or a yes. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Great. So first of all, really excited to be doing this webinar. I'm going to make it less, mechanical and much more story-like, because I feel like that's the best way to communicate something very important that's taking place. But before I start, I'm going to proceed with the traditional standard disclaimer. Everybody, please understand that Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor. All the information that you're going to hear in this webinar is for educational and informational purposes only, and nothing should be construed as a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Okay, so let's begin. And by the way, really nice to see Mike Roach here, gentleman from, kind of goes all the way back to this picture that I came in, and I wanted to give you guys a frame of reference, because again, you're going to hear something very important, and you need to understand where it came from. I'm one of the very, very few investors who started investing way back in the mid-90s, right after I graduated college, and I've been doing it this whole time, and I've been fortunate enough to have been very successful through a lot of trial and error and being at the right place at the right time, and also then taking that information and over the years just constantly, searching for the thing to make this type of endeavor easier and more fulfilling for everybody. Trading or investing actively is really a lifestyle to an extent. I mean, again, the question, of course, is how much can you do it? But when you do it, and what it gives you is a lifestyle, and everything about life is the style in which you can live it. And when you invest successfully for yourself, you are able to have freedom, and you're able to have the kind of fluidity with your capital that very, very few people enjoy. So again, hopefully this presentation is going to be something meaningful. If you look at the very top, this kind of again goes back to what I grew up with. You learn something, and there's a saying that says, once you learn how to use a hammer, everything becomes a nail. So back when we were trading using the SOE system, back when dinosaurs ruled the earth in the mid-90s, and there was actually a tactical network advantage to this type of investing, people learned to watch the overall market and key off of that overall market and kind of use that as a leading indicator. And that has translated and kind of morphed into a lot of different things, but you find yourself often doing something that isn't very productive for you, but because you're just very used to doing the same thing over and over again, like watching the FANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, obsessing about the 1-minute time frame on the S&Ps, and making decisions discretionarily, but primarily from guessing. That's really at the crux of everything that you're going to hear today, because at Trade Ideas, and especially because Lightspeed is the perfect partner for Trade Ideas to really execute the value proposition, what I'm going to show you, you are all at the right place, okay? So this webinar is going to tell you a methodology. How do you succeed? And we're going to show you the tools and the how-to, and again, all of this is already here. It's obviously Trade Ideas and Lightspeed, but I'm going to show you how it works. And it's a very simple game plan. Okay? So at the culmination of all of Trade Ideas technology is an artificial intelligence that we've created by observing the market, seeing what works, but then combining that with what we call the $50 million education. So almost everybody that works right now at Trade Ideas at one time worked at this other company called Future Trade Technologies, where a very large venture capital firm gave us at the end of the deal was $50 million to create a system to compete with the Ready Plus trading platform for hedge funds. And the reason this is important because it was during that time that we dove into the market structure and understood how the exchanges work and the data feeds and what is like the proper way to take in data, store data, work with data. Because again, you have to go through all of this to just get into an ability to compete with Ready Plus. But when that didn't work out, the founders all split off in 2003 and started Trade Ideas. And now, flash forward to 2016. In January of 2016, we launched what will become the biggest innovation. Well, it is already, but it just needs to be known more. But this is the biggest innovation in fintech, period. Okay? So you've all heard people talking about how can't time the market, most day traders lose money. And by the way, to a large extent, that is true. Statistically speaking, that is absolutely true. But we're trying to change that. And I want to talk to you about how we're doing it. So Trade Ideas' approach to investing has to do with science and not discretion. Although feel is a component of the trading process, the actual decision of what to trade is really more done by better systems that are designed to find nuances human eyes can't find. And that's done by crunching big data. So in January, through all of that historical workflow, working with the markets, connecting to every single stock, keeping a database and statistical baselines, again, just through the evolution of our own technology, Holy Grail was born. And what the system is, it is a system that is meant to be followed by humans. So it tells you, hey, here's a long signal for stock XYZ. You get in. It monitors the P&L for you. It tells you where the stop in the stock is. And it also, depending on what the stock starts to do, and this is the critical part, it also helps you manage the risk. It'll say, hey, you know what? It's not behaving well. Let's get out of this, right now because it doesn't feel good to me. And it'll do all of the things, again, that you have to do through trial and error. We have a technology that does it all. And we take the results of our AI, which starts flat every day and finishes flat every day, and we compare that to how the SPY did during the day. And obviously, we can't gap up and we can't gap down. We have to start from scratch and finish flat so that everybody who participates in the system never can say that, the performance is all based on some stock that everybody got into early and it's still running. So we're trying to really recreate the whole concept of indexing and robo-advising by creating this AI virtual analyst. And it's creating an index every day that you follow along with, but the beauty is that if you want to, you can be clear of every position, just like she is, and still perform in this way. So the blue line at the bottom is what the S&P has done since January 1, and the green line is what the AI has done since January 1. And what's really interesting in my mind is we've made some critical, the AI continues to be evolving, and we made a huge improvement at the end of May, June, and look at what's happened since then. It was really coincided with the Brexit, which our AI was able to avoid completely by basically not seeing any statistical advantage. And then, again, look at this sprint that's happening right now in performance. So this is what I'm going to be talking to you guys about. This is the most exciting thing in fintech. It's not some indicator, it's not a quote-unquote system. It's a living, breathing AI that watches everything and then modifies itself. So the other thing that we do, okay, so remember, talked about the AI as one component, is that we have a live community that helps everybody trade with the AI. It's led by a gentleman named Barry Anderson. And this is a media component of Trade Ideas. We welcome everyone in here, and this is completely free, whether you are a Trade Ideas subscriber or not. Our trading room is completely free, and this is a room that watches stocks through the eyes of the Trade Ideas systems. It is broker neutral, but perfect for Lightspeed customers because everybody here is active. And at Lightspeed, because your commissions are so competitive, you can take advantage of the AI in a way that retail brokers or more traditional retail brokers cannot. So by the way, everyone, the way I usually do these presentations is I kind of go over everything, kind of what I present in the first part. Then Scott comes in, and we're going to talk about a little bit about how we make money as Trade Ideas and give you some offers, and then I take questions. And of course, all this time, there is going to be my support on the question and answer panel answering them as well. But this right here, this community, there's approximately 600 people every day. And it's probably, in my opinion, the best venue because it's free for idea generation and risk management. It's crowdsourcing meritocracy where you can tell the crowd instantly rewards the people that do well. And we have rules in place where there's no spam and no BS. So it's just a very good place to be. And again, it's going to help you control your trading no matter how you do it. So I'm going to minimize the presentation, and I'm going to jump into the software. So first of all, this is the website. And if you want to go to the live trading room, right up here, just click on the live trading room, and it'll immediately take you to it where you register. So this is the Trade Idea software, and let me just make sure that everyone is able to see it. I just want to make sure again that the monitor is visible well. Please let me know in the question and answer panel. Okay, awesome. So Trade Ideas is the premier, idea generation processing technology in fintech. We connect to the exchanges and we process every trade on every stock by taking it internally, not just displaying it in a way to you so that you can make some inferences, but by internalizing every single piece of data, databasing it, keeping statistical baselines, and then reprocessing that data to find either statistics or movement. So there's different ways that, again, people interact with our technology. This is a channel that's really perfect for and designed specifically for the active investor, which is why, this is where we're starting at the Lightspeed webinar. Again, because Lightspeed has the kind of competitive commission structure to allow you to really take the best advantage of the AI, this channel is a great place to start. And what it is, well, first of all, just so that you know, with Trade Ideas, we kind of took the Netflix approach. We said, listen, instead of people sitting there and configuring and tinkering with the system, why can't the system have some smarts built into it? So we created a channel bar. So whether you want to see stocks that are being discussed on social media in an unusual way, and by the way, we connect to social media as well, so we do structured and unstructured data, or if you want to see just themes like when a surge of volume is coming in, or a different way that you can look at volume in every single capacity, like in the 5-minute time frame or the 30-minute time frame or the relative time frame, you can quickly start to sort of like bob and weave and from a discretionary point of view, there's just nothing that's going to compare with that. So we have specifically a channel, and again, if you go down, called the Active Trading Channel. This channel has been there from the beginning. It consists of very, very strong momentum type moves called the turbo breaks up, a unusual movers, top list. So this is kind of like, if you can imagine, this is meant for people who already kind of have gotten over the hump of making the trading decision, and they just want to be presented with the best opportunities. So again, I just clicked on a channel, and again, any channel you click on has the on it. So I scrolled down, and again, see there's penny movers, fundamentals, biotechs, earnings channel. If you want to know what's going on the earnings side of the equation, just go to that channel, and I'll show you something that you can do once I finish back to where we started. So the active trading channel is a channel that's really designed for you, the people that are here, the Lightspeed type of customers that are active in the market. So this channel really takes advantage of our expertise in setting trade ideas up, and these windows have been already pre-configured with you in mind. The whole idea is that, listen, we don't want you to sit there tinkering. We want you taking advantage of opportunities. And in our business, time is the one commodity, meaning the quicker you can get to the opportunity, the better you are. That's just a fact. Okay? So from a discretionary point of view, I've not gotten to the AI. From the discretionary point of view, this is where you start. Okay? One of the best ways that we differentiate, and I point to these windows here because they're just so unique to trade ideas, and you'll see why in just a second. So the whole notion of bounces and pullbacks. So when we invest, we don't always want to be chasing momentum. I mean, that's like basically going to playing golf and doing everything with the driver. I mean, it's good off the tee, but it's not going to help you that much like in and around the green, and certainly not in the sand. And by the way, golf and the fact that you use multiple clubs and have different strokes is the closest metaphor in terms of sporting life to investing. It's the same way that there isn't one perfect way to do anything. There's a number of different ways you can get to the same objective, but the way you get there has to work for you. So we have at Trade Ideas probably the largest experience database from the people that work there. Myself, our Director of Education, Jamie Hodge, Steve Gomez and Andy Linloff, who are both now a part of Trade Ideas, used to run a very popular education service called Today Traders. So again, we're talking about people with immense niche skill sets that help us design all of this that you're seeing. And pullbacks, as I was saying before, help you spot very strong stocks as they're pulling back. So here again, you can imagine here's something that's positive, and then it starts to pull back. The idea is that you want to play this strength, but you may just not want to buy it here. Let it come to you versus always be chasing. This window will always show you things that are ready potentially to be bought. Now, on the other hand, again, depending on how your skill set is and your feel is, of course, the other part of it is if you see something that's more expensive, and this stock is, of course, maybe a completely different example altogether, but in general, again, you have the opportunity to quickly make a decision. Oh, is this a support that I want to buy? Or if it breaks through, maybe this thing's going back to zero. Okay? So this window, this channel is your gateway to the best of the discretionary world. Every one of our columns in windows called top lists are sortable. Now, in this webinar, I don't really want to or need to spend too much time discussing how you configure it and all of that, because Trade Ideas has the best support and on-ramping of any technology provider. Everybody who works with us and subscribes to our service gets a one-on-one training session. All of that will be explained. But the best part is that you don't really need to be setting things up. You need to be reacting. We are all CEOs of our financial empire. We're not bean counters. you know. By the way, charting, of course, also part of Trade Ideas. There's a reason why you don't see any indicators on my charts. That is because through the over 13 years of analysis, what we have realized is that there are no indicators that work. Now, people have feelings about indicators, okay, but there's no indicators that are statistically consistently viable in terms of data. So that is why what you see at Trade Ideas is a very clean approach to investing. Once you're set up, it is much more visual because, again, you don't have to be looking, but here you right away start to see the opportunities that are presented because, again, these windows are already designed to show you things that are very interesting. So the other thing that Trade Ideas allows you to do is to not only be aware of interesting information, but you can then create a method to take advantage of it. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, you really like this move. This is a very strong volume move, and these stocks possibly could have a lot more momentum to it. Okay, so how do we take advantage of it? So let's look at over here. We can say to ourselves that if we go right here and so I'm right-clicking, I can take any stock and I can create from the chart my own alert by saying saw on unusual volume and going. So now, when this thing comes back through these levels, I could potentially see it trying to test this area. That's a very large percentage move. But the beauty here is that you can do it in a number of different ways. I also think it could come back. So here, I say to myself, and by the way, see, the software thinks that you're going to go short because it's down, but you can tell it, no, here I'm going to be buying too, and I'm going to be saying, pulling back to my level. So now I have this stock, what we call bracketed, okay? I have bracketed the stock, and now I can move on. The software will alert me anytime anything happens in this. And that is the beauty of the new evolved way that you work with the data. It's no longer just sitting there and going, oh, quack, I'm in, or something like that. It's totally different. You see it, you're like, whoa, this is interesting. What's going on? Let's set something up. Was this move overdone? And I can say reverse it. And now, when Clack starts to show something, I'm going to be made aware of it. And then you move on. So that's the simple methodology of working with this kind of system to never miss an opportunity. Whatever data you see, if it strikes you as something, and by the way, you can zoom in and you can zoom out. Look at Shake Shack. Here's a stock that's really trying to maybe completely reverse what it was doing before. So I can now zoom back in, and I can go to properties, get rid of this so that I can grab an older alert that I had and move it up. So you can also move your alerts back and forth. You can then zoom in, and you can even say to yourself, okay, so this thing just really gapped down, so I want to see it if it goes right here, above 38. I can say overdone. Whoops. Can't write. Okay, so we also, again, once you get comfortable, you kind of start going back and forth through the various channels, and you find, things that catch your attention. Tops. This thing's been a huge percentage mover. I personally don't short any of this stuff, but, I like to play these bounces because they're gigantic percentage players. So, very simply, if it catches your eye and if you like it, set an alert. If it catches your eye, and again, you zoom in, zoom out, Maybe this one you ignore completely. Look at another one. Nope, not interesting. So again, you just move along, move along. So now, time for the fun. Scott, before I jump into the best part of the presentation, maybe this is the good opportunity for you to pop in and give everybody kind of a little bit of a clue of what we do and how we run the business.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, you could probably park it on slide 7 for now. Yeah, see, we're a software as a service company, and our core means of income is our subscriptions. So we have 2 tiers. We have standard and premium. Now, the premium subscription includes Holly, the artificial intelligence investment discovery engine, our AI. It also includes price alerts and the backtesting tool, the odds maker, and some other premium features. And that starts at $188 per month or $1,888 a year to save money on that by getting the annual. You can also subscribe as a standard member, but that does not include the AI, the backtesting tools, or the price alerts. But it does include your real-time data and the charting and most of the other features. Both tiers include a full hour of one-on-one training. So as soon as you sign up, just go to the support section and click on training, and then you can select your preferred time and date to get started with that. Now, as a thank you for joining the webinar, you can use this promo code. It is case sensitive, so you want to type it all in capitals, Lightspeed 20, and that saves you 20% off that first month or first year of either premium or standard. You can also take a look at the handouts panel on your GoToWebinar interface and expand it, and you'll notice that there's a PDF there for you to download that includes these links and the code, a reminder for that. Now, I think if you hop to the next slide there, Lightspeed also included a promotion too. Lightspeed has a promotion at lightspeed.com/10K-2016, and you can click through that off that PDF download as well, and that has a incentive for you to save if you sign up for Lightspeed. You can also use that promotional code that you see there, 10K-2016, off of joining Lightspeed. Now, a reminder, the Trade Ideas code for subscribing to Trade Ideas is Lightspeed20, all caps. Any questions about this, just email us at info@trade-ideas.com, and we'll be happy to help you out. You can also get some information about the Trade Ideas Lightspeed integration at tradeIdeas.com/Lightspeed, all lowercase in that case for the URL, and that'll take you to an information page. Dan's going to go ahead and also show some of that integration too, I'm sure, in the second half of the prezo. Dan?
Scott, thank you very much. Yes, and there is really a phenomenal way to take advantage of what I'm about to show you with Lightspeed, and that's going to be, again, just part of the whole presentation. So bear with me here, and let me start from back to the channel bar. So now I clicked on the Holly AI. So the reason we named our AI Holly is it's a play on the concept of the Holy Grail. Everybody in trading, since we've started this business, and even in the mid-90s, everyone's been searching for the magic indicator, the Holy Grail. Okay, the thing that's going to make it so that if you do it, you're always going to make money. But what they don't realize is that there's no such thing. One of the reasons is that, and again, this goes back to the problem with saying, well, is the market efficient or is it not efficient? And because, again, none of these things are black and white. What happens is markets cycle through points of higher and lower efficiency. And information becomes statistically relevant and then doesn't, and then back again and then doesn't. And different metrics change all the time. Sometimes fundamental data is important, and sometimes price data is the thing that's ruling it. And sometimes it's a combination, okay? So that's what really makes the market so unique, and hopefully makes you understand that if you are not looking at it from our point of view, and I'll explain what this point of view is, you're really at a huge disadvantage. So our whole approach with Trade Ideas is an approach that we liken to the MIT card counting team and how to win at blackjack. So the MIT card counting team in blackjack counts the cards, and they assign a count to face cards and big cards, and then a different count to small cards, and it's typically +1 or -1. Again, I'm just being very general here. And the idea is that when a certain count presents itself, it's a better opportunity to bet. That doesn't mean you're going to win. It just means that based on how cards work and how many cards there are of what and where, that's what the statistics say. So we kind of took the same approach. We created this AI by breaking every single stock market day into a top. Here, let me throw a stock in here. So every stock has, a high, a low, and a middle. And what we say is that there's different ways that you can exploit all of this. You can sometimes buy a high and it continues. Sometimes you can fade the high and it goes down. All of that behavior happens. But to know what to do, you just have to be counting how many things are happening that are statistically viable. So that's what we do. Our 45 algorithms are sitting there kind of trying to exploit anything possible, from, hey, I'm gapping up after earnings yesterday, to, hey, I'm gapping down after earnings today. Again, it doesn't matter. All of that is being processed. So then, we just modified this a little bit, so I'm going to put a couple of columns back in. So win percentage and win percentage today. So these strategies, tailwind, float on, quarterback, sunrise mover, alpha predator, bullish trend change, buyers stepping in, horseshoe up, and on support, were the algorithms that competed in what we call the quantitative combine, which is out of the 45 algorithms that we have to exploit, these were the only ones, and they were only long this time, and we have shorts too, that made the statistical cut, which is what you have to do via a combination of win percentage and some other factors to trade. So out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 algorithms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fired. So you can go and say active. So out of these were the active strategies today. So this is what their historical test percentages, and this is what actually happened today in real life. And the outcome was a 28-cent gain in a mode that's called risk off. And we have two modes, risk on and risk off. And I'll explain very simply how it works. As I said before, the software is smarter than you in essence, because it has all this trader experience built in. It watches every single stock that it gets into and processes that information not only just based on where you got in, but how the P&L is behaving over time. And so if it doesn't like the way something is behaving, like for example, this is maybe one of the really, really good examples of it. So this stock, Acadia Pharmaceuticals, the software thought that, from this strategy, Sunrise Mover, that whatever was happening, that it was at a support level. That's what this strategy tries to exploit. It's like the stock is at this support level, and the idea is that it was possibly going to bounce. But as it happened, it got into it. It actually made a little money at one point, but then it started to get negative, negative, negative. And once the software saw the way this trade was behaving, it exited at 32.45, taking a 34-cent loss. But look what happened. It continued 2 points lower. So again, these modes, these statistically tested modes, are already built in to protect you. And then what we do, which is really, really, again, the next level of information, is that we tell you which mode to use. So the whole time, the computer is telling you, how do you behave? Should you be more conservative, or should you be more risk tolerant? So all this is happening for you and all you have to do is make the decisions of yes or no to the Holly trades. And the other thing is that you can also trade around them. So today, for example, in this risk-off mode, spend most of the day in negative territory. It was getting into stuff, boom, 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 and it didn't work out. But it really started to kick butt only towards the end of the day when it got into these trades at 11. So remember, these times are West Coast times. So this was the entry, this was the exit. Here it's an hour and 31 minutes. Here it's close to an hour. Here you have half hour, and so on. So this software, again, it's the world's best alpha discovery engine. And this is how it works. So during the day, I'll just take it trade for trade. And the first trade that happened today was in ACAD. There's enough of them so you can kind of see them all. So this was the entry, this was the exit. And it lost 34 cents, and then the stock continued to go down. After that, the next trade was in XONE. So it got XONE at 13.16, and by the way, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, it got as high as 13.46. So there's some decent profit in it too, but it happened very quickly. And then XONE started to fall, and when that happened, the proprietary stop that's in every single stock was hit, and you lost 25 cents. The next one was from a strategy called float on, which is looking for stocks that have not as big of a float as almost everyone is used to trading in. And by the way, that is one of the best approaches right now to investing, is playing in the smaller float names, because the algos aren't in there and the hedge funds aren't in there. You're only with other humans. So this is a stock that it lost 20 cents in because it got in here because of the rest of the market and because of the way it was trading. It took the 20-cent loser in a mode called reduce risk. Because at this rate, it was going down, and from its point of view, how is that really that different than what was happening here? So it wanted to reduce the risk. So here, the trade actually ended up being a phenomenal winner in risk-on mode. And that's another thing that you always have access to. So take a look at this column right here. It's called profit change last 5 minutes. So typically, almost everybody that uses the AI has this view mode sorted by what's moving in your direction the most out of all of the AI trades. So that way, if you can catch something that's negative, that's starting to go in the direction of the trade, that's a very strong indication that things are really working out. So when this went from negative to flat to being up a little, that was going to tell you right away that you were here. And again, that's what we teach as the methodology for taking advantage of the AI. And that's how that works. So STC, that was let me get back to the proper sort order. So 1, 2, STC. Okay, the next trade happened at 8:39, LOGI. Okay, so this was another example of how, again, the software in risk-off mode is just really focused on protecting your account. That's the most important thing for the software. Okay, so here, LOGI, you entered at 21.31. By the way, the entries are notated in blue. And when the software, where did I go here? Okay, so it went higher, but I think it was when this candle started to go, the software really decided that, again, because it watches everything, the future, the spiders, and how the performance is everywhere else, it said, hey, listen, you know what? I want to reduce risk. Reduce risk means that it's either take some money off, it'll take some profits, or just get out because it's worried that it's not going to continue. So again, this thing was negative for only a fraction of time, and then it just continued to move positively for the rest of the day, for the most part. Okay? So again, you're watching that negative to positive view. So the next one is ASPS. Okay, this one was in the strategy called float on at 9:14 in the morning Pacific time. So everything you get, the entry price, 29.14, happened right here, and then it just continued to go higher and higher and higher. And then the software had a strategy exit. Everything is timed. Remember, I said the AI gets out of everything at what it thinks is the statistically most opportune time. So it took profits, made 32 cents, and it turned out very nice because it ended up being up only 9 cents. The next stock was maybe just the beauty of all beauties. And one of the nice things, too, is that the AI is constantly in the proper sectors, whether it's the energy sectors or the biotechs or chips. Whatever is moving the most, the AI finds that statistic and it's in it. So here, this happened right at 10:48. 10:48, software got in. It only caught 9 cents because it wanted to save profit on this move right here, because again, it knows how volatile this stock is. So it took a 9-cent profit only. But again, you could obviously also take all that, but as we show people, the discretion with using trade ideas now is not placed at looking at stocks and EMAs and SMAs and Bollinger Bands and all this stuff that means nothing, but actually for the feel of your profit and the flow of your P&L. You could have stayed in this stock because, again, it really never went below your entry point. So look at the possibility and the percentage mover that we are shooting for, that we are trying to find, 6.88% in risk-on mode in one single trade. Okay, at 10:01, Shake Shack, float on. Another stock has the float characteristics, and it got in, made 20 cents in the span of 30 minutes. Next one at 11, ARA, Tailwind. Tailwind is a way that we say that, hey, it's at this price level where some momentum is coming into it versus just trying to break out. Again, remember what I was saying about golf before, where the whole notion of the breakout. Breakout is like your pitching wedge. It's really nice when you're like 100 yards out. But, if you're on the green or if you're, teeing off on a par 5, that's not the club that you use. So Tailwind is a strategy that looks for stocks that have come into the right place, stabilized, and then go time. So software got in at 11, got out an hour and a half later, 32 cents, and then again, XOM, same thing. So all this is being done for you. Think about what I'm saying here. This is being done for you. There is nothing else on the planet today that has technology that has been designed to be a human, to beat humans at the game of human speculation, and actually does what it says it does. Every one of these stocks also has long-term potential. So again, we even though, again, ourselves, Lightspeed, and it's a perfect combination to trade around and be flat, but if you choose to stay in things, we are also not looking for just churning. We are looking for opportunity. So let me explain what some of these opportunities are. So if you look at XOM, right, you can see that it has made a pretty significant move off of these levels, right? Came back, and the idea is that you're getting into, you're buying a pullback for a potential much broader kind of breakout. And if you zoom out a bit, you can kind of see a lot more potential. So RAI does this already, okay? Everything is set up, and by the way, I just set an alert for it, just like that, by moving one before above this area, and you can even go like a little bit further. This means you want to get aggressive, because now you're in this area. So notice, no indicators, no RSIs. You don't need any of that stuff. And if you do need it, you can get it within the Lightspeed platform, which has charting and has tons of indicators, so it's a perfect complement. So now, last but not least, we're going to talk about how you guys are actually going to take advantage of this with Brokerage Plus. So Trade Ideas is integrated with Lightspeed, okay? And what we do is we have this technology called Brokerage Plus. And Brokerage Plus was designed to kind of supplement the Lightspeed interface so that when you see these trades, you can get into them. You watch the P&L just like you're watching the P&L right here. And you can set up all sorts of rules. Whoops, sorry, orders, new, strategies tab, where you can look at the strategies and order entry. You can kind of create your own custom trading platform, per se. So multiple positions, very flexible, and the best part is these buttons right here are buttons that are designed for you to be able to work around the position. So you can reverse, double down, cut half. So you can imagine when the software tells you, hey, I'm in risk off mode, instead of fumbling around, you literally click on the position and go half. Or if it starts to go back, you double the half and now you're back at the original position. This is like your little Apple keyboard for trading around the AI with like one-click interfaces. So you don't have to. Again, so did somebody say I'm on mute? Surely you can hear me. Otherwise, I've been telling a great story on mute. Scott, am I actually live? Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me?
You're fine. He's the only one with an issue.
Oh, okay, sorry. Because I was like, man, I feel like my story was so good. So using this Brokerage Plus interface, you have a lot of that same functionality, that simple kind of flow, but power to really limit your risk, like limit out of all. You can, cover longs or shorts. There's just a lot of selection and a lot of expertise that was built into this simple one-page UI, so that you can be right in. You can almost imagine that it's kind of like this. In fact, don't imagine. This is exactly what it would look like. By the way, Steve, Scott, and everybody, I just impressed myself. Look, when Brokerage Plus is live, this is sort of what it looks like. Probably the best example. And you would click on this window and hit a button. You would click on this one, hit a button. You could put your, symbols in here, and work around these positions. And that's the value add, is that all the tools for you to take advantage of this technology in the best way are right here, and they're right in front of you. It's up to you. It's like we said, we can show you where the water is, but we cannot force you to drink. Idea generation now is what rules the active investing market. It's not Twitter. It's not anything complicated. It's data-driven. Data, 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 data. Because Trade Ideas connects already to Twitter, all the things that you need are already embedded inside. So the Holly, the AI, the Twitter data and the social data, that's already a component of the algorithms. That stuff's already included. You do not need to worry about that. What you do need to worry about is just where do you put your attention. And from that point of view, during the day, there's just simply nothing better than the artificial intelligence. This is, of course, the premium part of the service, but I just want to, to give everybody relativity, the premium part of the service costs, I believe, somewhere around $5 a day, something to that effect. And again, on a day like today, so let's talk about the comparison, okay? So today the spiders are down 0.54, and Holly is up 0.28. So if you think about that from the point of view of this graph, you've got the SPYs going down and the AI going up. You know, this is the future, ladies and gentlemen. This is the future of investing, wealth hacking. We do not put ourselves in, you know, positions where we say that we're just day traders. I don't even know what a swing trader is because I've never bought swings and sold them later. I've assembled a couple for my kids. But all of these things that people call themselves and stuff like that, it's really limiting. Try to be as open and fluid as possible. We are now in a new age of investing, just like when, you know, direct access came about in the mid-90s after the whole SOS thing. It really ushered in a revolution of direct access trading and online investing. Well, we are here to usher in the second act of that performance. Right now, with the stocks that we can show you and with what our AI is doing, this is the best market that has ever existed for the individual investor. The best. And so if you're not making money right now, ask yourself, do you have this technology? That's one of the answers to the question. We've got all the tools that you need to help you maximize what Lightspeed offers to you in that commission and margins and execution services that they provide. It's a perfect combination. You've got the Alpha Edge. You got 600 people that will be with you all day long from the open to the close for free, whether you use the tech or not. And then, of course, access to the most powerful technology for the individual investors. Hedge funds do not have this. This is not aimed at them. And this is not aimed at black boxing. Although, just so that you know, and again, I'm just going to mention this, you can take trade ideas. You can create any strategy in trade ideas. Like, for example, I can take a strategy right here that's looking at new highs that are up 2% for the day. And I can ask our software if that strategy is a good idea or a bad idea based on some rules. Like here, I'm going to test if it's a good buy for 30 minutes. Now, this is what big data does. So now I'm going to our odds-making technology, and I'm testing to see how would this work. And this, by the way, is the foundation of our AI. It all started with the ability to ask our software the question, is this a good trade? So I just ran through a simulation of 1,700 possible trades and found out that, well, my win rate, lose rate is below 50%. But you know what? I win 23-17. That's not that bad. I bet the AI could take this and really turn it into something good. So again, you can test, you can see all the trades, you can look at all the data points, and you can really adjust it for your own kind of rates. Like let's say 1.25 and 2-cent slippage. Then you can also change assumptions for dollars versus shares. Modify. Again, anything and everything that you want to play around with, you have the ability to test with trade ideas. And that's an advantage that you're just not going to get anywhere else. This is what our AI is based on. And this, you can take your own strategy, and if you like it and if you optimize it yourself, which you can do with our technology, you can then automate it through Brokerage Plus. And it will automatically trade for you exactly the rules that you create. So it'll add discretionary to your discretionary, and automatic will be automated. So there you have it. Let me answer a couple of questions here. So, Alan, there's a lot of videos that we have, and if you send an email to info@trade-ideas.com. We can send you in the right direction for videos on how to integrate Trade Ideas with Lightspeed. It's very, very simple. Again, we've done this for many, many years. Lightspeed and Trade Ideas are synergistic partners. We've been working together for a very long time. And it's just a nice way where you get the best of both worlds. You get the best in the streaming data and the best in execution together to really, this is the value proposition for the individual investor. You know, the only thing that helps investors take advantage of the AI is competitive commission rates, which allow you to go in, out, half, double, reverse. You know, you're again. Now it's much more gamification enabled. This gives you a flow. So let's see. Are there any other questions? Since I'm going to be. So Zach, yes, the scans can become strategies, absolutely, and we teach you how to do that. Brokerage Plus does not work with IB, and since this is a Lightspeed webinar, I'm not going to discuss other brokers, but no, Brokerage Plus right now does not work with IB. No, Chris, let me show you. See, new order tab. No order entry. I'm trying to remember where we put this. Order entries that I swear Brad just told me how to do this today. And positions. Oh, yeah, right click. Okay, I got it. Never mind. I'm so crazy. New. Okay, watch this, guys. New strategies tab. So here's a strategy. So here's what you can do. So I can right click in the strategies and I can load a strategy from my own cloud. So I've got tons of possible cloud ideas. So have the day momentum scanner. I'm going to load that, add to the existing. So here you now have limit, high of the day, momentum scanner. So this is a strategy that I plan to automate. Now that I have it, I can edit the trading rules. And this is where you can see a lot more power. This is what I was trying to show earlier, but I literally was having some sort of a brain malfunction. Okay. So again, this is where the automation part comes in. But Fareed, again, the most important part about automation is not like the transistor that's automating. It's what you're automating, because garbage in is garbage out. And what I'm saying is that we provide you the tools to really create the kind of optimized, workable strategies. And here you can just see that there's quite a bit more technology and opportunity for you to apply more strategic order placement, whether it's limit delta. I mean, you can see that this is a very comprehensive kind of interface. And all this, again, is designed for exactly what we talked about, which is either automating the strategies or improving your discretion by when you're mimicking the AI and looking at the positions. Chris, my pleasure. So, Shlomo, the odds maker and the brokerage plus statistics are the same statistics. And the interface is the same. There's just more. Odds maker isn't designed, is really just for, it's like answers the strategy questions, whereas the interface for brokerage plus, when you're editing the strategy, now it's really about like, okay, is it fixed shares? Is it based on fixed dollars? What's the exact share number? What kind of order do you want to put in? Limit market? How long do you want the order to, to stay there? What kind of stop loss? Is there any target? Again, a lot more ability to customize it. I believe that Brokerage Plus is included if you are a subscriber to Trade Ideas Premium and have a Lightspeed account. Gino, yes, absolutely. And see like how there's discretionary long, discretionary short, or the ones that you create. That's how you do it. So again, you're going to be kind of moving. So here, you're going to see all of your positions, but you can go by strategies. There's just a lot of sortabilities, a lot of capabilities that you have to make the data look the way you want it. And also, again, you can pop these things out. So this is a very comprehensive interface designed to really take advantage of data. And what I want to say is that on this webinar, this is designed to just be an intro. You will get through it once you really understand, and go through the proper training. But I want to say the key things are these kinds of buttons that make you be able to take advantage of this better. That's the real key. Okay, let me finish up by bringing back to the webinar. I really hope that you guys take advantage of our subscription, but if not, please stay with us for free at the trading room, because that will help you in your other Lightspeed trading. Again, that's free, and it does not matter. So you have an opportunity here to really start exploring something different and something new. And with the help of us and our partners, this is the best of both worlds for the individual investor. We've got the best opportunities now, the best detection, and this is the best way to take advantage of them with competitive costs on your transactions. Leon, I don't think the Trade of the Week webinar is tonight. At least Scott would know, actually, or anyone else from
Yeah, there is the Trade of the Week webinar tonight. If you're signed up for the Trade of the Week list, you'll be invited.
Okay, yeah, and make sure. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm like all focused on this. So yeah, I'm sure there's all the handouts, and Steve Gomez, who's really taken over the Trade of the Week program using our AI scaffolding and then applying the human touch to it, and that's been one of our most popular and fastest growing media components. So really take advantage of that, check out that webinar, and I want to thank everybody for your time, and please take advantage of the opportunities from ourselves and from Lightspeed. And if you need to get a hold of us, follow us on Twitter at Trade Ideas, and that's our corporate Trade Ideas one. That's me, and I'm a little crazy on Twitter, but it's fun. Like us on Facebook. These are our emails, info@trade-ideas.com, and of course I can also be reached here, and here's my phone number. And do the same thing for Lightspeed. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. They will help you by, again, if you reach out and if you have specific questions, social media, one of the best ways to take advantage of a company that's trying to be responsive to its customer base. Scott, the webinar is being recorded, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, everybody. Scott, thank you. I want to thank everybody, and please join us at the later webinar and have a fantastic rest of the day, and hope to see you in the trading.